The War of 1812. This was a war in which the young United States would take on the world's greatest naval power, Great Britain. The Royal Navy had over 500 ships, while America's tiny fleet numbered 16. On land, the disparity was equally as stark. Britain had over 250,000 soldiers, including 7,000 stationed in Canada, bolstered by a strong alliance with the Native American tribes. In contrast, the U.S. had a mere 7,000 soldiers. Further, Britain had abundance of wealth, and supercharged by the Industrial Revolution, it could easily outspend and outproduce the United States. Amazingly, despite these overwhelming challenges, the United States boldly declared war on Great Britain on June 18th, 1812. Why would the U.S. do such a reckless act? As we will see, the U.S. decision was driven by a complex mix of factors that made war appear both unavoidable and necessary if the new country was going to assert its sovereignty. A primary cause for the War of 1812 was the impressment of American sailors by the British Royal Navy. Impressment was the involuntary forced recruitment of sailors. This became a common practice by Britain in an effort to address the severe manpower shortage it faced during the Napoleonic Wars. The British Navy often stopped American ships and seized their crew members, including U.S. citizens. Between 6,000 to 10,000 American sailors were forced into British service. This practice was deeply resented by Americans who saw it as a blatant violation of national sovereignty and individual rights. Impressment was not the only maritime issue contributing to the outbreak of the War of 1812. There were others. In 1807, the British government issued the Orders in Council, which were a series of decrees that led to the blockade of ports, confiscation of U.S. ships and their cargo, forced merchants to pay duties and buy trading licenses. These measures were part of Britain's strategy during the Napoleonic Wars to weaken France by restricting trade with neutral countries, including the United States. The U.S., which relied heavily on trade with France, saw its commerce and economy severely disrupted. The U.S., which had declared neutrality, saw these restrictions as a belligerent violation of their maritime rights and sovereignty. The desire for territorial expansion also played a significant role in the onset of the War of 1812. Americans were eager to acquire land to the west, to the north, and to the south. In the western frontier, increasing numbers of American settlers wanted to move into territories like Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. However, they encountered fierce resistance from the Native American tribes. These tribes were supported by the British, who still had forts and influence in the region, despite the Treaty of Paris, which prohibited such actions. The British aimed to limit American expansion westward by bolstering Native American resistance. In the east, a group of young congressmen known as the War Hawks, included Henry Clay and John Calhoun, saw a different opportunity. They viewed the conflict as a chance to annex British Canada By taking this region, they believed they could provide new land for American settlers and significantly reduce British influence on North America. In conclusion, though the reasons were complex, U.S.'s bold choice to go to war with Britain would leave a profound and lasting legacy. It would showcase to the world America's determination to protect its sovereignty, and it would solidify its place on the world stage as an emerging global power.